So I'm out having dinner with my girl, and I want y'all to just notice something. There's women, all eating there. They're everywhere. Oh my god. I am seeing something, a trend. Girls are all going out with their girlfriends. There's not like one date.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care. Jerry.
First off, it's great that you have a house, you have a career, you can cook. Those are all fine things when you're in your 40s looking for a relationship. But I'm telling you, those things don't matter to guys in their 40s.
Guy in his 40s here who appreciates a strong, independent woman, but, you know, hit me with it.
First off, don't be so independent. Don't be such an independent woman that you don't need anything. Men want to be needed.
I will never understand this obsession with being needed as opposed to being wanted. And I ask this in all seriousness. How insecure must you be that your partner must be dependent on you? That you must ensure that they stick around not because they want to, but because they feel like they can't choose to leave, even if they want to.
We come to you and we're trying to relationship with you. You're indifferent to our presence. We're not going to stick around.
Now, I am actually in total agreement here. If somebody is indifferent to you, you shouldn't stick around.
Men want to be wanted. First off, we want to be useful.
If you only feel wanted when you feel useful, that's a you problem. And that is not something you should be taking into an adult relationship.
So in your 40s, hopefully you've taken care of yourself. Some people let themselves go.
Oh, no. The only way it could get worse would be if you told her that she has to be nice and sweet and smile.
Secondly, is to be nice. The last thing is to be affectionate.
That's it. I'm out.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
I think like the biggest thing that like annoys me in like the whole dating world is like fucking talking stages. Like that shit's so annoying. Like the whole like, and just like the inconsistency in them. Like I literally like hate that like so much. But I think that's like my biggest thing. It's just like
what specifically?
Just like the fact of just like you like, I don't know how to word this. Like in like talking stages, and it's just like you're like labeled that, and it's like people like are considered like you can't like, you're just like confused, and like most of the time like the girl gets like attached or something, and they like see it like it's gonna lead to a relationship, and it's always not. And it's just like, that's like my biggest thing is like I just hate the whole like how like talking stages are so like normalized. Like traditional dating does not exist in this generation.
That was hard to listen to.
Not now, my daughter. The council is gathered.
What do you think the issue is with dating right now?
Ooh.
Men.
Why?
Speak on that.
Literally just men.
What about men?
Just their pure existence.
What could they do better?
Not exist.
So do you think you could survive without men?
Absolutely.
How long?
Probably longer than I would survive with men.
You know how to change a tire?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know how to fix a drain?
Yeah.
Walk me through it if it's busted.
Get the long snake thing and twirl it in.
That's not a busted drain, that's a clogged drain.
Then I would just use a different sink.
You just proved your point. Keep going. I'm listening.
There's female plumbers.
Who do you think taught these plumbers how to plumb?
Maybe the other female plumbers that existed before them. A plumbing textbook. A YouTube video.
Created by men.
Trial and error.
Sure.
More dudes just gotta ask the follow-up questions. These discussions would be over in 50 seconds. And look, the lady here is right. About the plumbers, there are female plumbers in the West, but I'd be lying if I ever said that I've ever seen one, or have heard good things about the service provided. The heart of the issue is that the feminist identity crisis is real. They've rejected who they naturally are, and on this journey, they failed to understand what they're supposed to be. Here are the top comments. Feminism got the world messed up, they say. We say. Why do people want us to hate each other so bad? I'm not afraid to say I need a man, and men also need women too. Lady, you missed the point entirely. Just because you are 1 out of 5 million Western women to state the obvious, doesn't mean that the rest agree with you. That's the problem. Fact, women can't survive without men. Yes, sir, that is indeed a fact. As a woman, she sounds the most ridiculous. I'd never even want a world without men around. Women don't try to fix things. They just break something and then move to the next. Well, that's what I heard from her anyways. The modern contribution.
Men do not know how lucky they are when a girl actually likes them. Like, do you know how many unanswered texts I have in my phone?
Short, simple, stupid. I gotta say, it's gotta be the funniest part about these female coaches. They always say that men are flooding the DMs and that they're crawling to go on a date with them and spend $50 on a salad. But notice that they never manage to pull up their phones or show any real evidence to support the claim that they get more simp traffic than Scarlett Johansson. Moreover, we all know that this chick would say that this is her job on the silly balloon popping show, even though we know she lives with her single mom and 3 cats in a studio apartment. The comments are, "No one is God's gift to anyone. I was doing fine before you, and I will do fine after you. Curb your self-importance. Not every man lacks self-worth." Bingo, gold star for you. Huge red flag behavior. If you're involved with someone romantically, why are you allowing suitors to pursue you like that? That's literally something you can 100% control. Just block those people. I guess some people just always have to have options, but then get mad when they find out they were an option. The nerve of these types. It's an illness, just waiting for a clinical term to come out in the next 30 years. Do women not know we don't care? Some do, some don't. Time to clear the air.
What would you say some of the main issues are with modern Western women right now?
The root problem is a lack of critical thinking skills.
Okay.
And what I mean by this is it's off how they feel versus what's real, right? So even in the face of logic and numbers, it's about, oh, well, I'm going to manifest it, or I hope it's going to happen. Instead of having critical thinking skills and saying, I should probably lower my standards so I can find the man that I want, be able to have children, have a family, because that's going to give me real satisfaction. They say, no, I'm going to manifest it. He's out there somewhere. And the worst part, the girls at the table help them indulge in the delusion. Yeah, girl, you go. You're going to find them. This is why women perpetually stay single, because they give each other terrible advice, they coach each other, and they don't say anything like to tell them the truth, like, girl, you might want to lower your standards. No, they never tell each other the truth.
He just described the hive mind in a nutshell, and it's one of the primary contributors to the identity crisis. Women are, without a doubt, the most impressionable. They talk a big game about how they know exactly who they are, and they don't remember body count or how they've chosen to be single. What they neglect to mention every time is that they're simply repeating what the club clique told them as soon as they were about to wake up for the first time in 15 years. Feminist brainwashing isn't a permanent fix in the face of logic, and what keeps it going is that these women get reconditioned after every carousel ride. Now for the comments. How they feel instead of what's real. Why does critical thinking skills equal lowering standards? I want to know what's unrealistic about these girls' standards. Are they really all looking for 6 foot with 6 figs? Yep. And it comes down to years and years of conditioning. Every time a man advises a woman to lower their standards, I feel sad to think that, so what? Is there no good man out there? Do you think of men as low standard? Because they can't achieve what is the best in life? Are they so low? The man is not talking to women only. He is saying that men of today are low standard. Whoosh. Missed the point entirely. Moving on.
It's more like disingenuous can you possibly be? Your job is to make men hard. Yes or no?
Nobody says I have to be touching them.
Okay, yes or no?
It's not that easy.
Yes, so yes or no? Oh, it's as easy as saying no then. That's not your job.
No, but apparently if they're from afar and they're watching me and hard, apparently then it is what the hell it is.
So all those men are coming in because they just can't wait to see your moves.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so you get hired because men want to go in and watch you dance, or do they want to body?
I don't work at
If you're not working at a club, if you're working just as like a barista, do you think that men are going in to
obviously they want to see good looking women,
right?
Like
they want to see as much as possibly can. What is their job? Their job's to make the dude.
You're getting ones thrown at you, right?
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, right. But can you just concede that it's true? Yes. So how's that not?
I don't know. I don't consider it.
In the hive mind, euphemisms are the prized weapons. If they joined OnlyFans, they're an entrepreneur. If they get a divorce, it's a tale of escape. And if they have a high body count, well, suddenly they're well-traveled or worldly. Whenever a guy comes along and breaks down the behavior that these women try and justify, they always start to cringe and redefine what was abundantly clear. In the quest for a new identity, modern women do this because shame isn't an option. Here are the top comments. Ha ha ha. 304 girl don't like to hear the truth. Yeah, it's kryptonite for them. Nobody goes to Hooters for the food. I've never been, but I'm gonna assume you're right. If she danced in what she got on now, they'd fire her. It's all about presentation. Every time she deflects, she is saying yes. The level of delusion these women force on themselves, it's like they truly create a narrative/storyline and believe it so much that they expect us to believe that nonsense. When it comes to the mental state of modern women, it can all be summed up by calling it mass hysteria. Next clip.
A lot of women who are young, they're like, oh, because I match with 2,000 people on a dating app, therefore I'm a 10. We do a bikini competition every year. The guys ask me sometimes, like, what do you do when really unattractive girls show up? I'm like, let them in. I let them in because it's the first time anyone has ever showed them. Like, it's just so crazy to me when some of these girls walk up and they'll see some of these other girls that are always in the top 3. And they're like, yeah, I'm just as pretty as her. And it's like, what the are you thinking? And they just get done. It's like literally me. Just I'm in an NBA game because I hit a couple of threes in practice yesterday, and I just get fucking destroyed. And these girls go there, and then the crazy ones is the ones who have no business being in the contest. They're the first ones to come to me and be like, "Your contest is rigged.
Yeah.
Why is your contest rigged?" I'm like, "Do you really think you're as pretty as her?" But like, that's the problem that happens.
And the other thing is that they're usually the most entitled ones. It's usually the top 5.
Yes.
They're super nice. They're on time.
Yeah,
they
for
don't
sure.
give us problems. But
They're
it's
the
always
best.
after that who give us the most issues.
They're compensating for something. That's
Oh,
why they
yeah.
have
Oh
to
my
be
God.
on time.
Damn right.
There's a reason feminists went after the beauty contests before most of the other things we see today. It challenges everything they believe about what's beautiful. Magazines like Sports Illustrated clearly had a target audience, and if we're going there, even most newspapers had a target audience as well, and it was originally much more honest and objective. There's a reason these businesses have been hemorrhaging money for the past 2 decades. Instead of sticking to what works, they fell into the trap, putting Jabba the Hutt in a 2-piece and yelling at anyone who questioned it. So the comments here are, honey, look in the mirror. Why is it always the unattractive dudes judging women, never the attractive ones? Honey, no, you look in a mirror. I think you'll understand why you wrote this comment. Plus, we all know a bunch of guys that are up there, and they're all saying the same things. Isn't beauty subjective? No, not to the extent that you claim it is. I've never in my life once seen a female be honest with another one about the way she looks. It's like they hold each other in La La Land or something. At least to their faces, bro. Women get vicious when the big ones leave the room, and that's kind of the point here. Next.
Women tell me that their height filters are set at 6 feet or higher. It drives me crazy. Only 14% of men in the United States are 6 feet or taller. Unless you really only want to date 14%.
Speaking of standards and hypocrisy, here we are. On one hand, women will judge these beauty contests because they bring out their insecurities, while on the other, they try to line up dudes like it's a cattle auction, refusing to see the glaring irony in what they just did. Obviously, women tend to be drawn to many of these traits, but the problem rises when they don't recognize where they sit in the proverbial cheerleading pyramid. Most are at the bottom, which makes them sound completely ridiculous when they act like they still hold the power to choose anyone. Here are the top comments. I'm 6 feet or higher. Is it okay for me to set my filters at 120 pounds or lower? Hell yeah, man. Many of us are on the same boat. Hop on board. And these women are 5'2". This makes me think of the Kanye Hobbit bit from South Park. Very true. Grab your passport, ladies. The average man in the Netherlands is 6 foot. Good luck with that. Not sure it's going to pan out like you've envisioned, because no matter where you are on the planet, body count follows. Hashtag feminism. Imagine if dating apps had a weight filter. Well, they shouldn't exist, but this would be amazing. I'm Dutch. We are the tallest people in the world. Our average height in men is barely 6 feet, so half of us are smaller, and we are the biggest in the world, so a 6 foot cutoff is ridiculo. You gotta love it when a masculine comment cancels out on what was totally, in this guy's words, ridiculo. Another one.
I had an ex-husband. I didn't have an ex.
Okay, let's see what that nigga say.
I guess I would say his biggest complaint with me is, I don't know, my mouth.
Your mouth? What do you mean? Elaborate on that. So you got a divorce because you got a smart mouth?
No, we had a lot of irreconcilable differences that I won't get into. I don't know. I really don't.
She doesn't take accountability with her. That's what he said. Every time I try to bring something to her attention, she thinks she's perfect. Every time I try to correct her, she want to goddamn fight and argue. That's probably the thing that probably happened. Yeah. The fact that you can't see what you're doing wrong means that you lack a certain skill called accountability. It's okay. Most women do too. I'm pretty sure that's what he would say. Why is it so hard for women to apologize?
It's not hard for me to apologize.
So could you apologize to your ex-husband right now on the trigger alert for all the things that you did wrong in that relationship?
No.
Exactly. Got you again. You can't make this shit up. Hey, long live Kevin Samuel. It's not hard to apologize. Will apologize? No.
Irreconcilable differences that you won't go into right now. The best part of this is the end, where she claims that she, just like any other feminist we see on this channel, is the rational party in the divorce. And yet the second she is given the chance to be rational, to prove to everyone that she is what she says she is, well, look at that. Not a word. The comments are, she didn't say nothing on the video, but wrote a whole story in the comments. I bet she did. Explaining the situation on this program would have probably dug a deeper hole. So if he was so bad, why didn't you leave way earlier? Cha-ching. He gave her a chance to redeem herself, but she decides to be less accountable. These broads are truly something else. Again, there's a reason she didn't share, and it's because if she did, she would have had to acknowledge her nature to hundreds of thousands of people. Her fragile identity won't allow that. Her face says, I can't say sorry to her ex, which is sad. Accountability, gal, kryptonite ain't nothing new. If I'm reading this correctly, I agree. Next clip.
Have you ever watched, honestly?
Of course.
Truthfully? Okay.
Of course.
Do you think that woman is disgusting and like degenerate in that video when you watch it?
Yeah.
So why do you watch it?
Yeah, you're
Well,
sinning.
I mean,
So at least you could
in
be
some
honest,
regard,
at
hang
least
on,
you could say-
stop. Let me answer the question. Right?
Mhm.
I'm not above myself being a person who has been prone to sin. The point of Christianity is not perfection, not to say that you're a perfect person. It's to always be moving towards theosis, being better. For you to say that there's no identification distinction between us because you say you have watched, yes, that's true, but you are a star who advocates for it right this second. So your argument is so absurd, it's like saying a person who was a cocaine addict can't tell people it's bad to do cocaine. Do you understand how absurd that is?
And this is what the identity crisis does to the modern female mind. It's really on another level. Here are the top comments. Schooled her right. Corn is addictive and damaging in equal measure. Avoid it if you can, and if you can't, restrict your usage till you can. What's the point of these conversations? Clarity, man. Clarity. Not sure sound logic will work on this panel. Please stop pushing religions, man. That ship has sailed. Instead of trying to modernize old, outdated beliefs, focus on encouraging people to embrace their humanity and act on it. We should be uniting, not dividing the world into good and bad. Okay, buddy, that's totally worked so far. Damn, these comments were real inconsistent. Next clip.
Men who travel solo, first of all, I don't trust them. I think that men are not conditioned to be by themselves. They don't know how to be by themselves. They don't know how to just like have a good time on their own.
And this is what happens when you start to believe you are a man. Totally lost. The comments are, this is an example of our women not knowing a thing about men. Exactly. Never listen to a woman unless you just want to have a good laugh at her illogic and ignorance. Beautifully put, man. Stupidest thing I've heard today. The default state of a man is to be alone. I know she's not talking about us, right guys? Who's alone right now and completely fine? Me, but I think everyone needs to have a tribe. Men are just better at handling solitude. Next.
I had an older lady tell me a real man is not going to be ruled by a woman. Don't go down the path of expressing criticism, disapproval, and an ultimate lack of acceptance for your husband because it may cause rebellion. She's telling the truth. A real man is not going to allow himself to be a pushover to the woman he has chosen. Men with their sense of manhood and integrity and dignity intact have this innate desire and need to not be subdued and walked over. A real man is not going to be ruled by his wife. It insults his sense of manhood. Women who have succeeded in breaking their husbands such that their husbands allow their wives to rule over them, those are ultimately men who they find themselves no longer attracted to.
Gotta have a good note in here every now and then, but here are the top comments. She won't be attracted to a man who stands up to her either. Men need to know, do not put her in her place. Leave any lady who doesn't know her place. You don't fight a lady who's being nasty. You have nothing to do with her. Better listen, better understand, better know something. A real man doesn't sell his manhood for anything. Not women, not money, not favors, nothing. Bingo. And as long as that remains the rule, everything's gonna be just fine. And if you made it to the end of this video, I want to say I appreciate you, so don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment to have a chance to win, and hit that subscribe button for daily videos. And if you could take a quick sec to subscribe to the second channel, Man Guide Reacts, link is down below in the description, so we can be sure our message will keep on reaching the new men out there. I appreciate all the support, and I wish you all tremendous success.